Hey, what's up guys? Soldier Knows Best here. This is my review of the Samsung Galaxy S8. Welcome, but spoiler alert, this is one of the best phones I've personally ever used. I really do like this phone, but I'm not gonna give away everything just yet. There are a lot of things I do like, but there are a couple of things that I don't like. But first off, I'm gonna talk about the hardware, and if you really hold this phone side by side with the Samsung Galaxy S7 that came out last year, on the front you'll notice two things are missing. One, the Samsung logo, and two, the home button. Now the physical home button is just gone totally. Now you have a virtual home button that gives you a little bit of haptic feedback once you press down on it. But the fingerprint sensor that was in the home button has been moved to the back of the phone and placed next to the camera, which is just horrible placement. It is in absolutely the worst place you can put it because it needs to be in the middle of the back of the phone, which is similar to what the Google Pixel does, and it's just a perfect location. My finger just automatically kind of gravitates towards it when I'm trying to unlock my phone. But being next to the camera like it is on the Galaxy S8, it just makes me to be a little bit more prone to place my finger actually on the camera itself and smudge it up and mess up future pictures. So yeah, I don't know why they did that, but rumor has it that they were probably trying to get that fingerprint sensor under the display, but they just couldn't get it done in time. Now, luckily Samsung does give you multiple ways to be able to unlock your phone. You can still use a pattern or a pin or a password, but also you can unlock it with your eyes using the iris scanner, which works very well, but you gotta kind of aim the phone to match your placement of your eyes. But the one I like the most is the facial recognition, so you can use your face to unlock your phone. Now this works most of the time and you don't have to angle it really. You can hold your phone at a natural position and then it'll go ahead and unlock just by noticing your beautiful mug. Now there are two things I would like to see improved. One, I would like the ability to be able to have two different faces assigned to one profile, meaning that right now I have it set to unlock when I'm wearing my contacts, but if I put my glasses on, it doesn't work most of the time. So I wish that you can have one with your glasses, one without your glasses. And the second thing is that your eyes don't have to be open using the face unlock. So if you are sleeping and somebody picks up your phone and holds it over your face, they can unlock your phone without you even knowing. So that's one thing to be careful for. And I wish Samsung was probably just updated so you have to have your eyes open, because I don't see why you wouldn't have your eyes open using it. But that's just one of the things I would like to see improved. Now continuing my hardware tour around this phone, on the bottom you'll find the headphone jack. Yes, that thing is back. And also you'll find the USB Type-C port, which makes this the first phone in the Galaxy S series of phones to include that. And also you'll find one single lonely speaker all there by itself. And on the top, you'll find the slot that holds your SIM card and also your micro SD card, so you can expand your storage, which is nice. And also on the right-hand side, you'll find the power button. And then on the left-hand side, you'll find a dedicated Bixby button, and we'll cover that a little bit more later on in this video. And then above that, you'll find the volume controls. Now, for a phone for this length, I wish that they would move the volume controls over to the right-hand side underneath the power button, so your thumb can handle those duties of turning on your phone and also controlling the volumes. But I can always wish, hopefully they'll do that next time. And the biggest hardware upgrade that you're going to notice the first time you pick up this phone is the new Infinity display. Now that just really sounds cool, but this is the best display that I personally use. It is bright, it is sharp, it is super clear, and the colors look really nice on it. And this particular Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus has a 6.2-inch display, which is Super AMOLED, and it's curved on both sides, and it's rocking a resolution of 2960 by 1440, and that's bringing in 529 ppi. And the biggest advantage you're going to have with this display is that you're going to be able to get a little bit more information on the display at once instead of having to continue to scroll. And of course, if you're watching videos on it, it's going to be a pretty solid viewing experience. Now, one thing to note is that most videos aren't going to be optimized to really take advantage of this display. But in the Samsung software, they will provide a little button you can press while watching pretty much any video, and that will kind of expand it to take up the entire display instead of having the black bars on the side of the video. Now, most of the time this works fine, but sometimes you will find that some of the video will get cropped off, so you can experiment which one works best for you. Now, even though this display takes up the majority of the front of the phone, the entire phone itself doesn't feel that big in your hands. Even this Galaxy S8 Plus feels very comfortable in my hand, and it feels a lot better than other big phones like the iPhone 7 Plus, which just feels big for no reason. I like the fact that they increased the display size, but also just got rid of a lot of those extra bezels that don't need to be there. Now, a couple of things that are going to look really fantastic on this display are going to be photos and videos that you take with this phone. Now, the camera itself is not too much changed from the camera that was released on the Galaxy S7. Now, there's been some improvements to the post-processing, but for the most part, it's the same camera, which is not always a bad thing because this camera really does still perform. The pictures and videos are going to be super sharp and clear. They can be a little bit oversaturated at times, but for the most part, you're really going to like the result that you get with this camera. It's only when you compare it to other top dogs on the market like the Google Pixel where the camera starts to show its age a little bit. And I did a comparison between the Pixel and the S8 cameras, and I'll I'll leave that link down below so you can watch that video after this one, so you can really see how it stacks up, and you'll be able to see how it does do better at times and also does worse at times compared to something like the Pixel. But just watch that video after this one. Now, the front-facing camera has been improved. It is an 8 megapixel shooter with an f1.7 lens, which is going to allow for better low light pictures. And also too, it does have autofocus. So when you're trying to get everybody in the shot and hold your phone far away from you, the autofocus is going to be able to get all your faces in check to make sure nothing's going to come out blurry. Now, overall, I'm very pleased with the hardware, but especially the software of the camera app as well. Because if you just want to take your phone out of your pocket, take a quick auto shot, it is great with that, with its fast autofocus on the rear and front-facing cameras. But the biggest thing is that if you want manual controls, they have you covered by being able to control the aperture, the ISO, the white balance, and also the manual focus, which I think is going to be great for video. Really are great in this camera app, which I think a lot of companies seem to forget. So the camera app with the hardware, I'm satisfied. Now, with all this new hardware, what about that battery life? Well, the S8 has a 3000 milliamp battery, and the S8 Plus, which I've been using, has a 3500 milliamp battery. Now, with this S8 Plus, I've been able to get through an entire day no problem. That's with having an always on display and the brightness turned all the way up and Bluetooth and Wi-Fi always on. The battery management is very on point. And this phone still does have wireless charging and fast charging, which works whether you're wireless or wired, and it's going to get you back up and running in no time. And this phone still does look great, but also still manages to be water resistant. So you can dump this thing in the pool or accidentally bring it into the shower. I don't know how you'll do that on accident, but you can still do some wet stuff with that. And that doesn't sound right, but you can still do some wet stuff with this phone and it'll be able to survive. Now, you probably have your hardware fixed. I know I have mine, but now let's go ahead and move on to the most important feature of this new phone, and that is the software. A lot of people may say something with the hardware, but for me, the software has been nailed, and Samsung nailed it right. Now, the software is running on top of Android 7.0 Nougat, and it is fast, streamlined, efficient. They still have a lot of things you can do in it, but it's presented in a way that looks great. I love the fonts. I love the new stock icon pack. I love just navigating around this OS more than I do with any other skin that's running on top of Android. Things like the settings menu that has been more organized and is more compact, to being able to do a swipe up or swipe down gesture to pull up your app drawer. Now, this is great because I hate having to slide all the way down from the bottom of the display to bring up your apps, or to have a dedicated icon on your home screen to do it. But I do wish that the swipe down feature would have been reserved for bringing down the notification panel, so I can quickly get to that instead of having to try to reach all the way up to the top of the phone to bring down your notifications. Now, one of the things in the software that helps with this long display and the reaching of the notification panel problems that I have is that you can enable the one-handed mode in the settings, and now you can choose to enable this by either triple tapping the home button or just sliding up from either bottom corner, and now it will minimize that display into a very small kind of display on your screen. But because this screen itself is so sharp and crisp and clear, you are able to see everything, and I have no problems, and I have the worst eyesight in the world, but I'm still able to use the screen at this real estate. So now I can quickly slide down the notification panel or go into the browser and just do whatever I want to do and type on the keyboard. Everything works just fine. That's just one of the things that's something nifty to know if you're having problems reaching things at the top of the display. Now, also improved in the software is app management. So if you tap and hold on a particular app, you have a very nice, clean pop-up menu that pops up, of course, and then it gives you a bunch of options. Like I can choose to sleep a particular app. So if you have an app that's using a lot of resources, like a game or something, you can sleep it, and then the next time you tap on it, it'll go ahead and open it up and wake yourself back up. Then also, if my email app is showing that I have 1,000 emails to get through, I can go ahead and clear that badge to make myself feel better. And also too, you can select multiple items on the screen at once and then move them to a particular folder. And then also too, when you're trying to manage a folder, you can easily add all those apps to that folder in one single screen instead of having to tap on one particular app and move it all the way over to the folder one by one. This makes it a lot more manageable. Now, even the Samsung store has gotten better to me. Now, when you go into your settings for your wallpapers or themes or icons, you can actually see a bunch of things that are available for free and also available for purchase. I have found myself downloading a few wallpapers just from it, so I like having all that within the settings itself instead of having to go to a separate app to be able to download that wallpaper. Now, one other thing in this section that you can upgrade and customize is the always on display, which this phone does have the best always on display in my opinion. This is what happens when you press the power button and put your phone in sleep mode. This display will pop up and give you kind of basic information like the time and the clock and also your notifications. And I like the fact that you can customize it by adding your own personal picture. Like I just put my logo on here, so if you steal this phone, you know I'm coming for you. But I do wish that you can see just a little bit more information, like these icons for the notifications. I already know that I'm always gonna have a new email or Facebook or Twitter notification, but I wish you can just tap on it and just see a little bit more basic information right at a glance. Now, side panel apps do make their return, and so if you swipe over from the right-hand side of the screen and swipe in, you'll be able to pull up different apps that you can customize and download extra ones if you wanted to. But I find this great because you can quickly access your favorite apps no matter what you're doing. If you're in the browser watching your videos, you swipe over, you'll be able to have access to these apps. And also too, they brought over some things from the Galaxy Note 7 like Smart Select. So now you'll be able to quickly choose a section of the screen if you're trying to take a screenshot, or you can also create your own GIF or GIF animation, however you want to say it. And so if I find a very funny video on YouTube or Instagram, I want to make a GIF out of it very quickly, this allows me to do it just by sizing it up, pressing that record button, and then I'm set to go. Now, moving on to what Samsung deems the biggest update to this new software, and that is called Bixby. Now, Bixby does three different things. You have Bixby Voice, Bixby Vision, and also Bixby Home. Now, Bixby Voice is going to be something that will be able to do tasks like creating an email for you or automatically editing photos for you and things like that. So it's not going to be directly competing with Siri or Google Assistant, but we'll be able to do some of those things and also things that those other two can't do at the moment. Now, Bixby Voice is not available to most people with the S8. That will be coming in a future software update, but two things that you can use right away is Bixby Home and Bixby Vision. Now, Bixby Home is something very similar to Flipboard, so you can slide over from the left-hand side of the screen, or you can double tap that dedicated Bixby Home button, and that will bring up something that will give you information like your weather and your stocks, and also news and trending topics on Facebook and Twitter if you do link those accounts, and also your health activity. And so Bixby Home is nothing revolutionary. It's cool, it does work, but I did have a little fun playing around with Bixby Vision. Now, Bixby Vision is located in the camera app, and this allows you to either take a picture or to take an existing picture and actually extract information from it. So for example, if I needed to buy some new hand soap, I can actually pull up Bixby Vision and take a picture of it, and it'll locate that. If it can, it'll locate that on Amazon, for example, and I can quickly go ahead and buy it. Now, if you also just want to take a photo of something and be able to find out where you are, or you want to see similar pictures of that particular thing, like I took a picture of the St. Louis Arch, it will be able to find other pictures on the internet that are similar with that, and is kind of accurate with things that are well known, but for lesser known things, it may just give you a general picture of other buildings or other landscapes and things like that. And so in my testing, by no means is this anywhere close to being 100% accurate. I mean, it was decent in finding other images that look very similar to what I was taking a picture of, but as far as like being able to recognize a lot of different products and things like that, it still does definitely have some work to be done on it. But it's something that is fun, it's something that's useful, it's going to be there, but I think it's something that over time it can get better. I can see it being more useful. All right, so I've shown you everything I like about this phone and also a couple things that I don't like, and overall I would say that this is a very complete phone and probably the most complete phone on the market right now. Now, a couple things again that I don't like: the fingerprint sensor. Pretty much every time I pick up the phone, I'm reminded of how bad the placement of that is. They should have definitely moved it somewhere else. And also too, I wish the camera did have a more significant upgrade to compete with the likes of the Google Pixel. And also too, we know other phones coming out this year are going to have significantly better cameras more than likely. So this S8 may fall behind pretty quickly in that category, but we will see how it stacks up. But again, I think Samsung is holding off a little of its goods for the Note 8. And so if you're a fan of the Galaxy lineup of phones, this is definitely a worthy upgrade. And if you're not a fan, this is the phone that you may want to check out because it may bring you back over to this side. But for right now, this is one of the first couple phones that is in the running for the best phones of this year so far. We have a long way to go, but for right now, I give it a salute. Doggone good phone. So anyway, guys, leave your comment down below what you think about this Samsung Galaxy S8. And also, I know some of you have bought it, so leave your little mini review down in the comments as well. And also make sure you do follow me on my social media networks. Those links in the description as well. And subscribe to me on YouTube. If you haven't already, you better. I'm gonna come looking for you. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.